As this offseason continues to bore the shit out of everyone, I decided to bring on my good friend Francis to talk about what this offseason has been and how the Yankees can make it better. So, Francis, welcome back. How are you doing?
I am doing very well. Very happy to be here, my guy TJ. This is becoming a tradition. It's the third time, right?
For sure, yeah.
So I'm like, this is a tradition now. I'm gonna have to come back periodically. I
For
love the
sure, yeah.
yeah.
So, I guess let's just get it started.
Yeah.
Easy question.
Okay.
What are you grading the Yankees offseason so far?
So far, I think most people are expecting me to say F. I think it's a D. But it's like a D plus. And I say not. The reason I won't just say F, I know, like I said, people probably expect that. I can't say F though, because they have done something, even if we don't, whatever. They've made a lot of important moves that, yeah, maybe we're used to seeing that at the end of an offseason, or as like the topper on the cake.
Yeah.
And it seems like they're doing the toppings before the actual cake is baked. But those things are still important, right? Like the Paul Blackburns, the Yarborough, like that matters.
Yeah.
Even Grisham. If you didn't like, I don't love the Grisham deal at all. That's no secret.
Oh, we'll get to that. We'll get to
Yeah,
that.
really, really not a fizzle. We'll talk about that later. But I do feel like had you, not brought him back, like that would have been another hole to fill. So you do kind of have that. And it does set you up in a sense, gives you some kind of leverage in negotiating those other deals that I'm sure we're going to talk about with Bellinger and stuff like that. If you didn't have an outfielder there, then you really are kind of like no leg to stand on when you go into those talks. So yes, a lot of what they did, and then even the minor league deals. I know some of these, names that we've heard, like the Nick Torres and stuff like that. People are like, huh? What? Mexican League MVP? Like, what's that about? These things matter. Depth is important. Right now, I joke with, my buddy P over on NYYU, like the AAA team is gonna win their World Series this year because they are stacked, right? But it's not just, we can joke about it, but also in reality, having AAA that stacked does speak to your depth as a team. Even if currently that depth is on the AAA roster, should things happen, the Yankees have a lot of options, places to go in the infield, even with rotationally, or bullpen wise. So those moves are important and they have gotten done. So that's why I'm at a D plus.
We're not as far apart on this as I thought we were. I'll be honest, I thought you were going to say F
I
because
think
I am close. I am close to you. I was at C minus to D plus
okay.
range.
Right there.
Like you said, the minor league deals are important.
Mm-hmm.
They were able to bring back the Yarboroughs. They just got the reliever off of waivers.
Yep.
Like you said, depth matters. Back in the past, like 2023, what killed us? We didn't have depth, and then Judge was out, and we fell off a cliff. You need depth. You also need the topper, and that's why you can't go any higher than a C minus.
Not right now,
because you need to fill out the roster with talent. Exactly. At the end of the day. So let's get to some of that talent. CODY Bellinger.
My guy, Cody.
It is. He was important in 2025. He was a very important piece. But right now, tell me, is CODY Bellinger on the drugs that we always think he's on? Or is he justified in his demands?
Oh man, that's one hell of a way to ask a question. Tip of the cap to you, TJ. That's funny. I don't blame CODY Bellinger for the stuff that we're hearing about the ask right now. I put the blame there on Scott Boras. We know who Scott Boras is. We've done this song and dance so long. The Yankees know him probably better than any other team in the league. I mean, how many times has Scott Boras taken his driver and said, bring me up to 161 River Ave, whatever, and drop me off. We got a press conference. I mean, he's done the trip a million times. We know what this guy does. He comes into negotiations and he asks for the moon and the stars and the sun and everything out there. Now, I will admit it is becoming laughable, some of the things I've heard. But again, with the rumors, you never know what to believe. From the trusted sources, your Heymans, Shermans of the world, your Rosenthal's, they all kind of seem in lockstep that it is an ask of up over 30 something AAV, which to me is a lot. That's steep. And I got to be honest with you, I did not go into this offseason saying, as a Yankee fan, I'd be okay with the Yankees paying CODY Bellinger upwards of $30 million a year for the next 6-7 years. I did not have that on my bingo card, and that's the other part of it, the years. It's like 7 years, buddy. You're talking about a $210 million deal to start, because we don't know if the AAV is at 30 or they want 31, 32. We don't know, but I'm going to shoot him some bail before I shut up here. This is where MLB is right now, TJ. This is where it is. And it's sad because it's a big problem that's going to lead to what I believe is going to be a very lengthy lockout after this coming season, because the owners and the players are so far apart on what true value of a baseball player is today that I don't know where the middle is. We always say, oh, just, find the middle ground, find the middle ground. It's easier said than done. Where's the middle? Like, if Cody Bellinger's really asking for 30, 31, 32 million a year, and the Yankees are, say, at around 25, 26, I mean, you would think, oh, so then maybe 28, 29 gets it done. But if the Yankees are like, no, 24, 25 is fair. They don't want to add another 4 million. And he doesn't want to lose 3 or 4 million. So what do you do?
So you brought up a good point about this lockout. And I didn't have this written down, but did want to ask you, do you think that the middle ground in terms of CBA negotiations will be maybe no salary cap, but a free agency deadline? Because the deadline gives power back to the owners a little bit to be like, you can't wait us out. You can't wait us out until close to close to spring training where we have to make a deal. If we set the deadline for like New Year's Day at like 5 p.m., you've got 3 months to negotiate. Do you think that would make any headway? Do you think it would have to be more than that?
I'll be honest with you. This is something that I've thought about, the entire offseason. I mean, because like you said, to kick off the show, there's just not that much else going on with the team that I follow. So I've been thinking about the lockout a lot. And when it comes to this, I've heard of the idea of a free agent deadline. I don't know how plausible it is. Not because of the owner. I know the owners want it. I just feel like the players that's one of the things that feels like a non-starter for them. Just like the salary cap feels like a non-starter for them. They're just like, no way. Like, we're not conceding that. Now, there is a world, though, I think that this could work. I just think you have to be creative. And that's why I always worry about my sport, right? MLB. I worry about our ability to get creative. Every time we get creative in baseball, it seems like we do something a little wonky, a little weird, like the rule changes and stuff like that. And look, some of them I actually like. So let's be, real about that. Like, I think robo umps are kind of long overdue. You see, being a Yankee fan, watching Aaron Judge get absolutely nailed and on these pitches that are 6-7 inches under his kneecap. It's like, and he's 6'7". Like, what is he supposed to do with that? And you're calling that? Like, and the Angel Hernandez of the world just going unchecked for so many years, screwing up so many things. I mean, and then with remember the Galarraga situation, there's so many things that have happened that you're just like, oh man, like, we're really behind on this when it comes to umpiring and officiating of the game. So some things are good, but when it comes to like contracts and negotiations, I worry if they need to get creative. Here's what I would do. I say all that to say, here's what I would do. I think a deadline is something that needs to be put in place because it's gotten out of hand, right? It's not just this offseason. This goes back, all right? Remember when Manny Machado and Bryce Harper, they didn't sign until like February. Like, this is a thing now. This is how it is. You don't even see movement really until like December anymore. That's a problem. Free agency normally starts at the beginning of November. Why does it take 6 weeks just to even get the wheels turning?
Yeah, free agency technically starts like 5 days after the World Series.
Yeah.
So it is weird that we always wait 2 to 3 months before we get major signings.
Listen, if we're lucky, like last year, Soto's deal was done at, I believe, December 6th. I could be wrong. Or that might have been when we traded for Soto. Okay. But Soto did sign in December. He signed in December last year. So, that was good. That was good. He got it. He went out there. He did the whole dog and pony show, did all that, and then signed, and he was out of the way. And then we kept moving, and that was nice. The Kyle Tucker trade happened. That was big. But, even that kind of moved quickly. This year, it's been a snail's pace the entire, and you still have a lot of the bigger guys. They're all still out there. I mean, the only reason that a guy like Tatsuya Imai signed already is because he had a deadline. Yeah. But you see, that's where a deadline kind of helps. And the players would fight back and say, well, the deadline actually hurt Imai because if he could have just waited it out, he probably gets a much better deal than what he took to go play with the Astros. Granted, that's true. It is true. So my answer to that is then we need to probably have a staggered or a tiered deadline policy where I guess depending on the kind of player you are, I guess like you got to hit certain parameters to get a longer deadline or something. Like,
I guess in that way, I would say more like it would more be years. Like you have until you have a little longer to negotiate anything over 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Anything below like 3 to 5, you have until like January 1st, and then or maybe the opposite, but whatever it is, it would probably be tiered based off of years because you can't really do based off of like player stature because one team's value of a player is different from another team.
But here's what I love when I think about baseball's problem. One thing that sticks with me the most is look at how the NBA does it, right? If we get something similar, something that faintly or very closely resembled the NBA's contract structure for play, that would change the game. And look, NBA players, how often do you hear NBA player complaining about about money.
True.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when I like every time a player wants out, it's not about the money. It's about the situation. It's always about the situation. Always like it's not working. Playing here is not working. I don't like the system. I don't get along with the coach. I don't like living here. I don't this. I don't that. You understand? Like it's never hear a player like I want out. It's about the money. And it's like no, because every team essentially can pay guys the same thing, except for the caveat that the team who a player comes from more often than not can give that player the most money. But that helps. That serves as a way to help teams keep their homegrown talent. For instance, Paul Skeens is coming up in a couple of years, and it's a foregone conclusion that he's not going to be a Pirate. You know what I mean? We're saying this now.
Yeah.
He's not a free agent until 2029. We're saying in 2026, he's not going to be a Pirate. Everybody knows. Everybody knows it. Somebody asked Grok the other day, what's his next team? They put him in a Yankee jersey, which I love, by the way, because I can't wait. I cannot wait. You know what I'm saying? There is a part of me, the baseball fan in me, and I'm a baseball fan even before I'm a Yankees fan. That fan in me says something wrong there. Like it shouldn't be that way. Like Pittsburgh, why can't Pittsburgh see this guy and have this guy for his whole career? Because they don't want to pay for him.
And I guess on the flip side to that, a lot of these teams, like if you bring up Tarek Skubal and this whole arbitration thing, we could talk about the team finances and stuff, but their owners are the 6th richest people in the world.
Yeah.
They can pay, like, I guess that's the argument against everything is these small market teams that are complaining and crying poor, they have the means to do it.
They do.
They are just deciding not to.
Yep.
And look, I do give some sympathy to the teams who are relying on regional sports networks, and those are going out because of FanDuel and all that. I get all that. But a couple of years ago, Corbin Burns signs with the Diamondbacks as the Diamondbacks are dealing with that same regional sports network issue. And that's one of the smaller market teams. And he signs for $200 million. These teams have the money. And I guess to be on the player's side a little bit, it's like, has some of these contracts gotten out of control? Are they pricing out some players? Sure. Like Soto was never going to go anywhere but New York, Los Angeles,
Boston,
maybe Boston, but they've even become kind of
There was only 5 teams that you could see realistically affording one.
But
same with Ohtani.
Him and Ohtani, like when you get past 5, that's when it's like, okay, you're pricing out teams. But anything before 5, I think every team has the means to do it.
I agree with that.
And that's where hearing all these owners cry poor and be like, we need a salary cap. The problem with the salary cap that I've seen is it's supposed to create parity, right? What sport has the most parity? It's baseball.
Right now?
The sport with the most amount of different teams with a championship is baseball.
I mean, the last couple decades for sure. Football does really well with
all time. It's baseball, hockey, basketball, football. Football is the hardest cap because they want to create the most parity. But what sport has created the most dynasties?
Football.
So you're almost looking to regress by adding a salary cap because it obviously doesn't create parity. There's multiple ways that these teams are able to build. So I don't want to spend too much time on this because
I hear you
to get to, but it is an interesting thing because this lockout could get serious and may let us lose a lot of baseball.
Yeah, I think it's going to get bad, and I think we are going to lose a lot of baseball because, like, I mean, just listening to both of us, you can tell there's so many different schools of thought on it that
for sure,
can you imagine when they all get under one roof and they're trying to
especially because the owners and players association absolutely hate each other.
Yeah, they don't. I mean, it wasn't amicable in 2020. It's not going to be amicable now. It's probably worse. I mean, I'm
hoping both sides look at it and say, okay, we can't lose because we lose out on half of 2027 and the fans that we've built over the past 5 years are gone.
I mean, all that work that's been put in,
it's gone.
It's to grow the game internationally, and I mean, you're going to set yourself back.
So I'm hoping owners and players sort of look at that and be like, okay, there's a little bit of motivation here because without that fanfare, Soto doesn't get 7.
Yeah, for sure.
So anyways, back to our team with Bellinger wanting up to 7 years and some reports saying $36 to $37 million.
It's just crazy.
It's looking a little bit bleak that the Yankees would sign him. Reports are coming out that interest has intensified on Bo Bichette. Now, watching NYYU a little bit, I see you guys are very in Bo Bichette.
Yeah, we like Bo.
Creating the nickname Bo Bronx.
Bo Bronx, yes, sir. I'd love to say that going forward.
So I guess it's an easy question to answer. Is he really a good secondary option for the Yankees to look at.
This, I think, might be another answer that shocks you and people listening. While I love Bo Bichette, absolutely love Bo Bichette, and I want Bo Bichette, 100% want him on the New York Yankees next year, I think he's a horrible fallback option for Cody Bellinger. I don't think that makes any sense. I just don't. I don't like, I saw these reports the last couple of weeks that, well, now with things going with Cody, like now they're maybe thinking about pivoting to Bichette. Well, how do you do that? Like, I mean, Bo Bichette's not playing the outfield, and Bo Bichette is not bringing what Cody Bellinger brings. To me, they're two very different players. When I speak about Bo Bichette, I've always spoken about him as an addition, not a trade over. You know what I mean? Like, I never wanted Bo Bichette to come here in spite of a Cody Bellinger. I wanted Cody Bellinger to be back as well as Bo Bichette. What I didn't want was Trent Grisham, but we got him. So that kind of muddied that plan originally. And now you're giving Trent Grisham $22 million in 2026. The chances of you landing Bellinger and Bichette are microscopic, if not zero. Yeah. But to me, I don't look at Bo Bichette as a fallback option for Cody Bellinger. And if they signed Bo Bichette and lost out on Bellinger and went with the outfield of Grisham in center, Judge in right, and then one of the kids or both the kids platooning in left, and Bo is somewhere in the infield, but then obviously to put him somewhere in the infield, you got to trade, you got to move off of either McMahon or Jazz Chisholm. I don't know that we're that much of a better team.
It's true. And I mean, that's the report that confused me.
Yeah. No, it's
you bring in Bo Bichette, but now you want to trade the second best second baseman in baseball to do it. And we'll get to a little bit of that Jazz conversation.
Yeah.
The bat is obviously there for Bo.
Yeah.
That bat, undeniable.
Yeah. It's the defense.
I'm against bringing in Bo Bichette because of what the Yankees have been telling us the past 2 to 3 years. Limiting mistakes.
Run prevention,
limiting mistakes.
Yep.
You are going completely back on that if you say, oh, we're going to do run prevention and then bring in Bo Bichette. It's basically an oxymoron because Bo Bichette, statistically, one of the worst shortstops in the past 20 years.
Not good defensively. It's true.
And if you wanted to move him to a different position, we've seen how that works. Guys do not automatically spring into better players just because you move them to a generally not as important position.
Yeah.
Think about all the carousel we had at third. Didn't work. To me, Bo Bichette is a risk. I don't know I would be willing to take, even though he does mask some of those mistakes by being such a good bat. But we have a team that right now, you add in Bo Bichette. Yeah, Volpe made some mistakes last year, and his defense regressed. Still was at least 3 times better defensively. And every fan, when after a game where there has been 1 or 2 errors, what's always the conversation? We're the sloppiest team in baseball. This team will never win unless we clean things up. This is not cleaning things up. It's kind of muddying those waters a little bit. So I'm a little hesitant on the Bo Bichette, even though, yes, leadoff hitter. We haven't had that in so long. He would be that prototypical leadoff hitter who can give us depth in that lineup. I get all that. Where is he going to play that he'll be at least close to average? I don't know.
So I think that's where the conversation about Jazz Chisholm comes in.
Yeah.
Jazz Chisholm, look, I don't know anybody out there that is going to want to argue that Jazz Chisholm is not one of the best second basemen in baseball right now. If somebody wants to argue that, be my guest. I don't know how you make that argument. You're talking about 30 home run power, 40 plus, 40 stolen bases, great defensively. I mean, the dude is a stud. He's a stud. Here's my issue with Jazz Chisholm. I don't believe that the Yankees want to sign Jazz Chisholm long term. As a matter of fact, if I was a betting man, I'd bet the farm on them not investing in him long term. Why? I mean, you can pick from a bunch of different reasons, but very few of them have anything to do with who he is on the field. You want to bring up something on the field, maybe you'd say strikes out a lot, chases. Okay, I hear that, but that hasn't been a huge deterrent for us in the past. We signed big strikeout guys, people who chase. We've done that. That's not.
We traded real assets for Joey Gallo.
Exactly. I mean, and what did Donaldson do when he was here? Chase, strike out, hint pop-ups. So, I mean, even that to me is no, it's not that. The reason that I don't see the Yankees investing long-term in Jazz Chisholm is more about who he is off the field. And I just don't feel like the Yankees are willing to marry that type of player. Now, do I necessarily disagree with them? I would say yes and no, right? I like who Jazz is most of the time. I really enjoy it. I like the swag. I like the character. I like his attitude. I really enjoy Jazz Chisholm's personality. I love that he seems to play the game of baseball with joy. I feel like we lost that over the years. I don't know what happened. Today, when I see a player that goes out there and genuinely looks like they are having a good time playing the game, I really enjoy that because it is a game at the end of the day, and it should look fun. Like if you want to attract kids to it, it can't look like a job. I'm sorry. It needs to look fun. Jazz Chisholm makes baseball look fun. He makes it look very fun. So I love that. My issue is the tweeting, right? The off the field stuff, the comments and the post games where it's like, yeah, no, I think we're the best team in the league, and I think we're gonna beat this one, we're gonna beat that, and all of that stuff doesn't help his case, and all of that stuff is kind of the antithesis of what the Yankees feel like it means to be a Yankee. And for that, I don't think that they're going to invest in him long term. Then there's the fact that I believe that Jazz Chisholm is going to be one of those players that views and values himself in a way that's very different than the way that the Yankees view and value. And I think that there will be a chasm between them. I think that chasm exists right now as we speak, because Cashman alluded to speaking to Jazz Chisholm's agent at the outset of the offseason when they asked him about extension talks, and his response was very much like, yeah, like we didn't get anywhere with that. And I believe that the reason why they didn't get anywhere with that is because Jazz Chisholm is like, I deserve this, I do this, I do that. I mean, literally, I'm fast, I play good defense, I can give you 30 home runs, I can steal you 40 bases. I mean, I can win you a game with my legs. I literally did that for the New York Yankees in the playoffs against the Red Sox. Like, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, we're talking money. We're talking 250 above, right? I mean, I'm thinking that's what he's thinking. And do you think that the Yankees are going to give him that kind of money? Because I don't.
If it gets that high, I don't think they would.
I don't think they're going to give him that. But TJ,
I don't. But I also think the Yankees, because Jazz has expressed wanting to be back,
to be here, yeah.
He wants to be in New York. So I think in a lot of ways, his connection here, because he's now basically ingrained himself with New York. So I think in some ways he'd be able, from what I've done research-wise, he's a second baseman. Second basemen usually don't get that much love when it comes to contract talk. And that's where he may be able to come to the table. And if it gets down to it, and he's able to give the Yankees a 5 to 6 year deal that is worth around 25 a year, the Yankees should be all over that.
I mean, here's what I'll say.
You should not, because also if we're talking about what he does in the post-game media, he has never said anything outside of his desire for this team to win. And I think that's something that fans and the team has been asking for. Show us that you want it. Jazz finally shows it. And he's gotten a mixed bag of results in terms of how people feel about him. And that's where I think some of the hypocrisy comes in when it comes to Jazz. Like, we always look at Judge every time he gives the robotic response. And it's like, oh, I want a player who will be real.
Yeah.
Jazz is the most real guy in those post games.
Yeah, he's very honest.
Game 1 of the wild card.
Yep.
He was pissed.
Oh yeah.
Kept his back turned because he didn't want to say anything he didn't want to say anything he couldn't take back.
Exactly.
That's as real as it gets.
True.
There's a reputation about what the Yankees want, but then there's also things that Yankees and the fans alike we ask for, and then when we get it, we push it away. We ask for players to, okay, let's stop being so robotic. Let's start having fun. All Jazz is fun.
Yeah, yeah.
And everyone's like, not my type.
No, and that's why I start with, listen, the fun part about, I love that. I love, the way that he is on the field. And most of the post games I don't have an issue with. I think the issues come from calling out of other teams and the Twitter stuff. To me, the bigger issue.
I mean, yeah, I think if I'm the Yankees and I'm like, okay, if we're gonna give you this money, you're deleting Twitter.
And I think for him, I don't know. I don't know if I mean, maybe Twitter you could get him to delete, but he'll still be on Instagram. Like, you're not getting.
I mean, he'll still be on Instagram, but he can't. Twitter's a lot easier to get your message across.
It's a lot easier to get in trouble too.
It's a lot easier to get in trouble on there. You don't have to post a picture with it.
I think that's one of the big issues, is that on Twitter, like he'll go back and forth with people. He'll say some wild stuff. I won't even repeat some of it. It's like, I'm like, I don't know, Jazz, that might have been a little much.
I mean,
and it's like,
but we're also seeing that from Cam.
Yeah, no,
and
for
everyone
sure.
seems to love it.
I think Cam, see, that's the thing. It's like the thing with Cam was doing this as, how you say, like the Red Sox fans were coming at him and he was kind of responding to them, dunking on them after he performed against them. The most recent thing with Jazz Chisholm had to do with him proposing to his girlfriend and people bringing up comments. And it's like, that had nothing to do with baseball. And like, you became a story because of something that had zero to do with baseball. Then you're on Twitter engaging with negativity, like people saying negative things and you responding with even more negative things and saying things about people's moms and stuff. It's just like, dude, like you play for the New York Yankees. I mean, there's not a more clean cut organization. I mean, they literally had a clean cut policy up until last year. Like, this is the last team that wants to see you engaging in that kind of stuff on Twitter. They don't, like, they could say like, oh, you know, we don't mind, you know, be yourself. But they say that, but they don't mean it.
They definitely see it, and they definitely aren't thrilled by it.
I don't think
my only thing would be, if the Yankees are as serious about winning as they always proclaim to be, this is not enough to go away from winning.
No.
Being on Twitter should not, for them, if they're saying to themselves, we want to field the best team possible, posting a little bit on Twitter should be more of a, during negotiations, we say, hey, we don't want you on Twitter as much. Have him follow sort of a protocol of not being on Twitter that much. Not a form of, because they also did this with other players as well. Was A-Rod their cup of tea?
A-Rod
was a playboy.
A-Rod was.
They weren't. Yeah. Derek Jeter was a quiet playboy, so he was cool with them.
Yeah.
A-Rod was loud.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm doing this. And they were
they paid, but I feel like they paid the price when it came to A-Rod. I mean, A-Rod, listen.
I mean, they paid the price, but they also won.
No, they won. They won. But I think when you look back at how that contract and his time here aged, there's probably tons of people in the organization that are like, I mean, did we really need him to win in 09? Like, was it worth everything else that we had to deal with? And again, I don't think Jazz Chisholm is going to give you those kind of I would hope not. I just feel like even if you sat there and negotiated,
that's kind of my point, is like we dealt with those types of problems with A-Rod, and they were able to say we were able to deal with this to help the greater good of winning a championship.
It's true. But A-Rod
and he had such more serious shit going on,
way more serious
than tweeting in the off season.
It's
and
true.
Like getting caught by TMZ smoking a joint.
No, it's true. But A-Rod was also an MVP caliber player, and as good as Jazz Chisholm is,
of course he's not as good as A-Rod.
I don't see him being in an MVP conversation anytime soon. And I think here's the thing, and with the money aspect of it, the reason that I go there is because he's gonna be a year younger than Marcus Semien was when he signed the deal with the Rangers, and Semien got 25 per year for 7 years. I don't see Jazz Chisholm taking anything less than 8 to start, and 8 years at 25 already.
If there's no salary cap, if it's anything at 25 million, the Yankees should be on.
Well, no,
it's when the AAV gets up there. That's when they should. If it's at 25 million, and he wants a flat rate, even if you want to go the Dodgers route and be like, okay, we'll give you the 25 million, but we'll defer a little bit of it. Like at that point, I think the Yankees should be all over it, even at 8 years, because he's only 27. So
it might not be 8. It might be.
And if he could get down to 6-7 years,
he's different
at 25 million a year. Again, but and to bring it back to the A-Rod thing, A-Rod was a lot more than that.
Way more. Yeah.
And he also brought. It seems like for them, their problems are
more baggage too.
Their problems are relative to their talent level.
Yeah.
Like, okay, A-Rod was an MVP caliber player, so you could deal with all that bullshit.
Had MVP type problems too.
Jazz is maybe not an MVP, but he is an all-star caliber player.
Yeah.
And he tweets too much.
Yeah. And he's not going to change. I don't think he's going to change that. And I'm like, look, man, if that's who you are, it's who you are at the end of the day. I just wonder if it's a marriage that makes most sense for the Yankees when you factor in that.
I mean, but I also look at it and
I don't see him. I know we're talking about 25 million, but even that, like, I don't see him starting at 25 million. I think he's going to want more. 25 million is what Semien got for going into 2022. So if you just adjusted for inflation, it's more than 25 million AAV. He's going to want.
That's true.
and that's
probably
gonna
want like
that's
27, but
I would say like 27. And if you're talking 27 and give him the same deal that Simeon got, right? Give him the same deal that Simeon got, just adjusted for inflation and add the extra year because he's a year younger. You would say 27 for 8. That's 216 million. Would I do that for Jazz Chisholm? I would do it. Would the Yankees sign that? That's where I hesitate. Say
but I also get confused by that because this is Cashman's handpicked guy.
Traded for him.
Cashman said, but Cashman also said, because remember, when he was in Miami, he was not at second, he was not at third, he was not in the infield. He was their center fielder.
Yeah.
So he pinpointed him and said, I want you to be our second baseman. I want you to be our third baseman. So it's just weird to me. They knew.
No, I think they knew. I think they knew they were going to put him at second too because they knew they weren't re-signing.
He was most likely picked to go play second. That was also after the Pivot podcast when he called out Rojas.
Yeah.
That was after a lot of stuff, which I agreed with Jazz. What Rojas did is fucked up.
Yeah.
But,
no.
Yeah,
Jazz
that's
was
after
wrong.
all of
He's
this.
rarely wrong though. That's my thing. I'm not saying. I hope it doesn't. I don't want it to come off like that. I think that he's wrong. Like because even when he was going at fans, a couple.
He was defending his wife or his fiance.
His fiance. His people are coming at his fiance. They're making allegations. They're whatever. And he's like, dude, I got engaged on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. Yeah. And you guys are speaking about it negatively. Like what's wrong with you? Like he's not wrong. It's just what I mean. That's the lay of the land when you're a professional player. Like sometimes you gotta just ignore stuff like that. And it's way easier.
I guess my question would be: they knew about some of this. They knew he was loud.
They did
because if this was before the Pivot podcast, I would be on your side and be like, maybe they didn't know.
Yeah, no,
he is loud.
They knew.
They knew how loud he was. I enjoy him being loud.
Yeah.
It's not everyone's cup of tea, but they knew what they were getting into, and they traded real assets. Augustine Ramirez right now is one of the best power hitting catchers, up and coming power hitting catchers you can get.
Phenomenal. They traded a great player for Jazz Chisholm.
So to me, I'm like, he's at least in my opinion, the second best second baseman in baseball. It's Ketel Marte. Then there's an argument for a couple guys, but he's nowhere below 4 or 5.
No, I think if Altuve's at his best, Altuve probably gets him.
At his best.
At his best, Altuve's still probably ahead of him. Ketel for sure is number 1.
Ketel's a number 1 with a bullet.
But yeah, he's up there. He's up
top 3 to top 5. Top 5 bare minimum.
Top 3 to top 5 for sure. I'm telling you, bro, I look at it as a situation with Jazz. I see it very simple. Like in a vacuum, I'm like, look, he's a great player, phenomenal player, and they knew who he was before he got here. That's a fact. The issue is this is when they traded for him, right? And they knew that worst case scenario, he's here 2.5 years and we walk away, no harm, no foul. But when you sign a contract, 8-year contract, 7-year contract, you are committing to that person. And now you're not paying, it's not the 2.5 years at 9, 10, 11, 12 million. Committing, you're talking about between 25 and 30 million for the next 7, 8 years. Those are much deeper waters. So it's like, did they know? Of course they did. Of course they were. But they might have been 100% comfortable with doing that for 2.5 years. Now you're going to sit across the table and say, are we comfortable doing this for 8 years at 27 million a year? That's where I work. That's where I say I don't.
I don't know what the Yankees think.
Yeah,
I don't know what the Yankees are. I don't know what the Yankees are thinking.
Speculation. Yeah.
In my opinion, I don't think he's done anything too egregious for them to say this.
And somebody's going to pay him.
I don't think they haven't. He hasn't done anything egregious enough for me to think they'd look at him and be like, this hasn't been a success.
No. I wouldn't say it was a failure. I don't think they would.
And if it's a success and he's top whatever second baseman in the league and wants to be in New York, there's like, okay, we also are forgetting we have rostered real criminals on this team over the past few years.
No, for sure.
We let Domingo Germán come back after committing what could have been a felony in front of MLB officials.
Yeah.
And I think we gave him more money after that.
I hear you. No, it's true.
Aroldis Chapman had that whole situation. That situation confuses the hell out of me.
No, it's one of the weirdest. It's one of the most quirky, weird stories you'll ever. He's just one of the weirdest baseball players.
He's one of the weirdest human beings.
Period. Like he throws 105 miles an hour, and he shoots weapons in his garage. I don't know. He's a weird guy. God bless him.
So like to me, those are bigger issues.
No, for
and we
sure.
gave them extra money. So it's
no, I hear
so
you.
all right. I spent a lot of time about that. So we'll move on because I don't want to waste your time.
No, it's cool.
Let's go back to the first deal the Yankees made this offseason.
Trent Bonds.
Trent Grisham accepts the qualifying offer, and you got a little bit of heat on Twitter.
I did.
Because you said Trent Grisham is a bum.
I did.
Is Trent Grisham a bum?
Mm-hmm.
Or is he a good player? Let's start there.
Yeah. So I got heat. I would say I think the issue that people had is that, it's who I am at the end of the day. That's the issue. I mean, because people say the things that I say all the time and nobody bats an eye, nobody looks two ways about it. But because it was me, people made a big deal about it because it is what it is. But yes, I called Trent Grisham a bum. I said I referred to him as dead weight even. And people were like, how is he dead weight? He hit this, he did that. At $22 million to me, yes, there is a large part of Trent Grisham that is dead weight. He is not a $22 million player. I'm sorry. I don't believe it's 2025. Not for a second. I don't know how anybody could. I don't know how you could sit here and say that this is just the player who he is now. Oh, this is who he is now. After all the years that we've seen him play, after the whole sample size that we have, we're going to throw out every season before 2025 now and say, no, this is who he is. Because that's how baseball works, right? Because that's what happens. People have that one good year and they never look back for 5 years after that. It's not the case. In reality, if you ask me, lie detector said, do you think Trent Grisham is a bad baseball player? No, I don't think Trent Grisham is a bad baseball player. Do I think Trent Grisham is a bum? No, I don't think Trent Grisham is a bum. I also don't think that Trent Grisham needs to be on the New York Yankees in 2026 making $22 million. And I feel like people want to argue with me and say that the biggest arguments that I got were people saying like, oh, it's 22 million. Like, he's worth it. Look at the numbers he put up. He can repeat that. And that's the argument right there. My argument, you can't argue 2025. It happened. Numbers are there.
Yeah.
So I'm not arguing with people about what he did.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about that. But people constantly want to bring up, look at what he did. Look at what he did. Yeah. Are you supposed to pay players for what they did last year or what you think they're going to do? Yankees, if they are paying him 22 million in 26, it's because they think that there's a good chance that he's going to repeat that. And they've said as much. Boone has said as much. Brian Cashman has said it. Hal Steinbrenner, even in his, they believe that. And I think that they're out of their mind. I think that they're insane. I think that they are going to look crazy. And I think that everybody who argued with me is also going to look very crazy. And if I was 2023, 2024 Francis Lee, I would have saved all those tweets to bring them back up in August. Just attack everybody. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do it's not going to do
we got
that.
Mature Francis now.
Yeah, no. I'm going to let it go cuz at the end of the day, man, listen. If Trent Grisham doesn't repeat 2025, I think we should still be a good enough team that it doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
So to play a little bit of devil's advocate. Mm-hmm. Okay? And I agree with you, 22 million is crazy. And we'll get back to that in a second, but to play devil's advocate,
and hold on, and before that, I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, you're
good. He's 100% right for taking the contract, though.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, like I hope that comes across. I'm not saying that he made it. Trent Grisham didn't make any mistake. He did the right thing.
Oh, no.
Okay, you're giving me 22 million. I'm taking 22 million because on the open market, I probably would have got 2 for 24. You're giving me 22 for 1, so I'm taking it. And whatever I do this year doesn't matter because I'll probably be able to get another contract after because I'm a pretty good defensive outfielder regardless. And listen, those aren't as easy to come by as they were once upon a time. So he did the right thing. Good for Trent Grisham, and God bless him and his family that they got that $22 million. The number. Yeah.
So I think we could all agree $22 million is crazy for this type of player.
That type of player?
But he is turning 28.
Yeah.
According to most people's beliefs, this is the start of his prime. You believe there is zero chance that he found something that he's able to carry over into his prime and will have maybe a few of these types of years before maybe returning back to what he was before this.
Here's what I'll say.
Again, just playing devil's advocate.
No, you're right. And it's good. This is good because it allows me to explain a portion of this that I've never said anywhere before. I say it all the time off air. Pete, what that mean? I tell Pete all the time. time. I don't think that he believes that. That's why Francis doesn't believe that, because Trent Grisham doesn't believe that. And how do I know, you might ask? Francis, how do you know? You don't know what he believes. You don't know what he thinks. How does Francis know? I'll tell you. Because he accepted the 1-year deal for $22 million. Because if he believed he truly unlocked something and that this was the player that he was going to be for the next, let's not even go crazy and say this is his prime. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not even gonna use that argument, because he could have said, listen, statistics show that where I'm at physically, I'm entering into my prime. These are the numbers I just put up. I mean, his agent could have done a whole presentation based off of this and said, this is who he is, and you have the opportunity to sign this guy. His age 28 season will be the first year of this contract. I mean, we're talking 4 years, 5-year deal at minimum. But him and his agent clearly did not believe that that's who he really is. So they said, take the money and run. And then we'll come back to it next year. And next year, we'll probably sign a 2-year deal, maybe with an option for 3. It won't be anywhere near 22 million AAV, because that's not who you are. And I know that because he didn't test the market. If he TJ, look at the market for outfielders this year. It's top heavy. It's top heavy. But after Cody Bellinger and Kyle Tucker, who was Trent Grisham competing with? Harrison Bader? And I'm not disrespecting Harrison Bader. Harrison Bader's a great player in his own right. I loved what he did with the Phillies after he got traded. Loved it. I think he should go back there. But dude, you're telling me that if he believed he was that kind of player, he would be afraid to go into this market of outfielders? Come on. No. He would have said, no. You know what? Tell the Yankees thank you, but I'm going to test free agency, and they are more than welcome to be my first phone call as a free agent, and we could talk multi-year deals. But they didn't do that. They didn't do that, TJ. And to me, that tells me that he knows deep down, not that there's a 0% chance. I can't say that. You can't say that. It's baseball. He could have a better year in 2026.
I mean, he just did it, so it's obviously not 0. But
no, it's not 0. It can't be 0. And also, it's baseball. Like, so many different things can happen. You don't know. He could have a better year. He could have his worst year of his career. Like, it's baseball's so fickle and weird. And I mean, dude, we've seen it time and time again with players that are even better caliber, and they just lose it for a year. It happens. So I can't say 0. I can't say 0. But I just feel like I feel like he believes about as much as I do. There's a very good chance that he doesn't do. And that's why he accepted the 1-year deal at $22 million, because I think he felt, along with his agent and his family, that he'd be stupid not to. And a player who believed that he was going to be able to put up 2025 numbers the next 3 or 4 years doesn't take a 1-year deal, TJ. They just don't.
You bring up a good point. He probably could have, if he did feel that he could get that type of money somewhere, he could have played the whole, hey, if you don't get Tucker or Bellinger, I'm here for 4 for 80.
You could get me, and he could have said, you can get me and Bellinger. You guys want to run it back? That's what you said. Listen, I'll be here, negotiate with Bellinger, whatever. I'm going to take some meetings, but I'm going to give you guys the opportunity to call me. Yeah. I know Trent Grisham likes it here. He's good friends with Judge. I don't think that would have been a problem. I don't think he would have had an issue saying, no, listen, I know you guys got to talk and do your thing. Do your thing. I'm going to take some meetings with some other teams. That's just the lay of the land, but I'm going to give you guys first right of refusal because I want to be here and I want to run this back and I want to try to finish the job with the Yankees. He could have 100% done that. And the Yankees could have 100% signed Bellinger and then pivoted and come back and reopen talks with Trent Grisham and probably signed him. Listen, people, they killed me because they're like, oh my God, this guy hates Trent Grisham. I don't hate Trent Grisham. I hate Trent Grisham at that money. I don't like Trent Grisham at that price. I think Trent Grisham is a bum at $22 million. I think Trent Grisham is dead weight at $22 million. Trent Grisham at 10 to 12 million, I love him. I love the play. At $12 million for Trent Grisham, yes, he's at $12 million, phenomenal. Absolutely great. You know what? You could even get crazy at 15. Would I like it? No. I won't be too excited, but I won't be out there calling him a bum or dead weight. Not 15 million. Come on, it's 15 million. But we're talking 22 million. And people say, 22, what's the difference? 15, 22, 7 million. That's a lot. They had Weaver at a 3 million. They had Weaver for 3 million. Like 7 million is a lot of money in the grand scheme of things.
Especially since Hal Steinbrenner has already been doing the rounds about not wanting to go over 304 or whatever.
TJ, that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing.
So I guess that leads me into my next question about this. Do you think the Yankees gave him that qualifying offer thinking 100% he'd deny it? Or do you think they are comfortable with him at 22?
No, I think they gave him the qualifying offer because they wholeheartedly believed that he would reject. And I think they believed, I don't think that, no. And I'm not saying that they believed that he would reject it and sign elsewhere. I think that they believed that he would reject it. That's free agency, but that if they really wanted to, they'd be able to retain him, right? But worst case scenario, if he went somewhere else, they'd get a pick. They didn't walk away empty-handed. But I truly believe they didn't think he was going to. And people say, there's people on Twitter, they bring it up, oh, you can't say that. You don't offer a qualifying offer if you don't expect the guy to take it. Yes, you do. They do it all the time. Teams do it all the time. They do it all the time.
A lot of teams just throw out that qualifying offer.
They do it all the time. It's a negotiation tactic. First of all, with a guy like Trent Grisham, it shows that you're interested in him, for one, because you're literally putting a $22 million offer on the table. That shows good faith immediately, and that puts you ahead of any other suitor out there before he tests free agency. Even if he would have declined it, he would have known, but this team was willing to give me, if I would have said, yeah, they would have had to pay me $22 million, and they put that on the table for me. That's negotiation 101. It shows that you're wanted. People want to be wanted. Yeah. But I think that they did it as that. They wanted to let him know, hey, we like you. We want you here. This is the team. We know how 2025 ended, but we think that we got something here and we want you back and we want you to be a part of it. And, you know, we're willing. If we have to give you the $22 million, we'll do it. But I don't think they thought he was going to take it. I think that just like they believe that he's unlocked something, I think that they believe that he also felt like he unlocked something and was going to go and take that into free agency and use that to negotiate a multi-year deal. They didn't expect him to take 1 year.
I mean, that's what I thought. I thought he was going in. I thought he was going to look for something for 4 years.
4 years.
Like something
TJ,
off of this.
He could have gotten, off of this last season.
He could have gotten 4 years.
He could have gotten a 4-year deal, and I don't think anybody would have been surprised. Even if I'm telling you, even if the Yankees would have given him, if the Yankees would have given him a 4-year deal at $50 million, would anybody have been surprised? I mean, listen, 2 years ago, you said $50 million for Trent Grisham over 4. No, are you crazy? Yeah, 2 years ago. But after what he did in 2025, you're getting him for 4. Yeah, it would have been a great deal because look, it's not a 10-year deal. It's 4 seasons. If he falls off a cliff, God bless him. He fell off a cliff. The AAV's manageable. It's what, 13, 14. It's manageable. We can withstand that. But if he continues producing, we're getting a guy who's very productive, very efficient, good defensively, and he's not even making 20. He's not even making 15 million. Nobody would have been shocked at that. Nobody would. And I think that's what it was. Also, you got to factor in what we spoke about earlier, TJ. After this season, who knows what next offseason is going to look like? There's going to be a lockout. So you took a 1-year deal and are now going to go into free agency with an impending lockout? Like, I'm telling you, the Yankees did not think he was taking that deal. They didn't. They just didn't. And they can say whatever. People bring it up. Oh, but Cashman said, oh, Boone said, and Hal Steinberg, everybody said. They have to say that. They have to say that they.
You can't go out and be like, well,
we didn't expect.
That shocked me.
That would look crazy. Could you imagine if Brian Cashman said, well, actually, we were shocked that he accepted it. You can't say
imagine the Twitter story.
Oh, forget about it. I mean, on NYYU, we'd crucify. I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, we'd he said what? He offered it and he didn't think he was gonna accept it, even though we know it's the truth. You know what I mean? Can't say that.
With the offseason not being completely done yet because all the free agents are basically available.
A lot of them.
It's hard to have this conversation, but seeing a lot of people harp on the fact that the Yankees haven't made the moves that the AL East have made and that they're getting left behind. I wanted to get your thoughts. Do you think that the AL East, outside of Toronto, has done enough to leap the Yankees?
Boston has, but
interesting.
I would say Boston has. The race isn't over. Like, I mean, we're still running. You know what I mean? The all season's not done. We don't, like, I mean, if you put a gun in my head right now and said, this is the team that the Yankees start 2026, I would say no. I don't. I think something has to happen. Like, there are more moves are going to be made. I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know if they're going to trade for a pitcher. I don't know if they're going to add another starter. I don't know what they're going to do with the bullpen, and I don't know what's going to happen with the lineup. But I know that it's not what I'm looking at right now. Yeah. So if you had to ask me right now, yes, as of today, the 10th, as of January 10th, in the AL East, I have Toronto firmly ahead of the Yankees, and I have Boston slightly ahead of the Yankees. As of January 10th, that could change in 2 weeks. Like, that could change in an instant, but right now that's where I have it.
So it's interesting because I've been it's weird. I am a little bit more down on some of the moves the AL East have made than most people.
Okay.
Toronto, to me, they're looking at potential. Like Dylan Cease for $200 million. I thought that was crazy.
They got it done.
Because Dylan Cease has shown who he really can be on both sides of the spectrum.
Exactly.
Last year,
Volatile.
if you get last year's Dylan Cease, I don't know if the Blue Jays have improved. They're also relying on a pitcher coming out of Japan. We don't know how he's going to translate back to Major League Baseball. He already got hit out of Major League Baseball. And now they're relying on a bat that seems to be well-rounded in Okamoto. What does that also do to their infield? What does that do if he's not as productive all around? Because he doesn't have the power, doesn't have as much power as a Murakami. So he's not coming in with the potential of hitting 40. So he has to.
Not even 30, really.
So he has to hit for average. He has to get on base.
He's a contact.
If he can't do that, he's also a guy who's kind of a project right now. They really did a lot of deals for project. And I still think they are better because of it, because Dylan Cease, I believe in his talent. So
I think they needed it.
They needed a pitcher. I would have thought they'd go with someone more consistent, but they needed a pitcher and they got their guy.
Who in that regard, who would you, if you were Toronto, who would you have signed overseas?
Maybe not even signed. If I'm the Blue Jays, I would have looked at my roster and said, I have enough faith in this team to be 3 to 4 years, that I would have packaged a bunch of prospects and see what I could get for Joe Ryan, or even
for
them, they have the prospects to get that type of guy.
They do.
So that's where I think
I think they're more reliant on their prospects in that regard, though, because Toronto doesn't hand out those big contracts as often. So, and they're not trying to either. They're not that kind of team. They're not trying to be like a big market team, really. They signed Vladdy to that extension. They talked Kyle Tucker. Yeah. Now they signed Dylan Cease, but like they're not like the Dodgers or the Yankees, where like you can see them every other year doling out this really big contract. Like they're really not like that. So they depend on those prospects. I think when the way that they view value in their organization, I think they probably said, why not spend the money on Dylan and keep our young guns? And then they fill out the roster as some of these other guys start leaving because we're not going to pay him. Like Bo Bichette, for instance. Bo Bichette's probably going to leave, and they replace him with Okamoto. Okamoto's not going to be Bo Bichette offensively at all. At all. He's not even close. Offensively, he won't hold the candle to Bo Bichette. But they were without Bo Bichette for a large part of for a little bit of the season and a large part of the playoffs, and they survived. So they're probably saying, look, if he can give us average and he's better defensively and he's more versatile defensively, we may have slightly gotten better even losing Bo.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's wild because Bo Bichette in your lineup is crazy. But
if their guys reach their top level of what they could do, like if Ponce looks like he did in Japan,
forget about
it. And Cease looks like his potential is finally starting to be hit, and Okamoto could actually can get on base, be the well-rounded hitter he is. They've gotten a lot better.
But your doubts are valid.
There's a lot of volatility with the moves they've made.
Sure.
So that's why I don't rate it as high. I still think they're above the Yankees because without these moves, they were ahead of them.
They were ahead of us, yeah.
With Boston, I don't love what they've done. They haven't done anything free agency-wise, but also they decided to take on the Sonny Gray contract. I know they needed pitching, but had younger guys there. And Sonny Gray, although he has his moments, he kind of teeters, and he usually works out better in a smaller market. Mm-hmm. Now you're putting him in another massive market with another fan base that is ruthless. The last time they did that it wasn't good.
Didn't go so well.
And then they also got an aging DH first baseman in Wilson Contreras. To me, I don't love what the Red Sox have done. They've taken on a lot of salary where they are not pushing for any of these free agents. Haven't heard them in on Bellinger, haven't heard them in on Tucker. Maybe Bregman.
They met with Bichette, and they've been talking to Bregman.
And look, they might retain Bregman, and that's cool. But with their lineup how it was last year, adding Sonny Gray and Wilson Contreras, they would need their prospects, the Christian Campbells and
Marcelo Meyer, Roman Anthony.
They need Roman Anthony to be that guy they think he will be someday. They need him this year if they're going to do that.
I mean,
because I don't trust Wilson Contreras to be consistent, especially because he is getting older and he's already had inconsistency issues. And Sonny Gray, I don't trust him to capitalize on being in Boston. Mm-hmm. Yeah. To me, I think the better offseason might have been Baltimore, even though I do have problems with it.
Baltimore's
got Pete, but they also traded away Rodriguez for Ward, which I didn't understand much. Then you basically get another version, not exactly, but another version of Grayson Rodriguez and Shane Baz, and traded away half your farm to get him. To me, and then the Rays got Cedric Mullins. So it's like, to me, I don't think I think a lot of people have overrated what the AL East has done because of how little the Yankees have done.
I feel I mean, some people could be doing that, but I feel like, look, the most improved team in the AL thus far this offseason is Baltimore. Baltimore did not have a good season by any stretch of the imagination last year, and they went into this offseason with purpose and the intent to get better, and I think that they've done that. I think they've improved
For sure,
more than any other team, but again, they had a much lower baseline than the other teams we're talking about.
Yeah.
And even with their improvements, I don't have them over the Yankees. I still think the Yankees are the better team.
Oh, for sure. To me, I still have the Yankees number 2 in this division.
Yeah. Now, when it comes to Boston, I think the thing with Boston is they saw Roman Anthony last year. Started slow, but when it caught on, it caught on. They were winning, and he was hitting, and he looked good out there, and he very much looked the part of a kid who can carry their offense. Then he got hurt, and the team changed drastically. They were a very different team once Roman Anthony went down. Even still, losing Roman Anthony, they march into the Bronx, they take game 1, and game 2 was anybody's game for the large part of it. We come out on top, and the rest is history. Game 3 got Cam Schlittler, and Cam Schlittler put out one for the ages. Yankees win, they move on. But that series in and of itself was way closer than I think some of us like to remember it. And if you had to play that series again, all things equal, except Roman Anthony is in the Boston's lineup, that series could very easily go the other way. Very easily go the other way, because he meant that much to their lineup last year.
True.
Now they added Contreras, who, yes, is getting older, and is no argument about it on the decline part of his career. Still an addition over what they were trooping out there, running out there this year. They got nothing from Casas. They got nothing. They were struggling big time. Now you kind of know what you're going to get. And yes, it might not be the top of the line, flashiest, whatever. It's going to be pretty good. And it's probably going to fit really well with that Boston lineup, that grit, that who they are. Like, it's probably going to work. They go and bring back Bregman, or Bregman walks and they bring in Bichette, and they're right there. That lineup is right there. That lineup will be able to go toe-to-toe with the Yankees for sure, and the Blue Jays most likely. My thing with the Yankees lineup is I feel like our lineup is overrated. If they run it back based off of what the lineup did last year, I think our lineup last year was heavily overrated, ridiculously overrated. Whenever we faced elite pitching, most of the time we looked overmatched, except for 2 or 3 people in the lineup, and 3 being generous. Aaron Judge never looks overmatched because he's Aaron freaking Judge. The guy's not human. He's the best hitter in baseball. I don't even take arguments. He's the best. There's nobody even like him. What he does offensively, he's the best. Outside of Judge, it was anybody's guess who we got, who was going to be the supporting member in the lineup that day. And a lot of the times, it just didn't work out. If Crochet was out there, if Scuba was out there, if you know the names.
I guess my argument to that. My argument to that would be, these guys are the best in the league for a reason.
Yeah.
Like, guys going up, like we're going up against Crochet, and we talk about, our lineup can't hit against the guys like Crochet. What lineup in baseball can?
No,
there's even the Dodgers lineup going up against these guys.
It's
struggle.
True.
Even all these lineups, like it's hard for me to use the Crochets, the Scoobles, and some of these top Skeens.
Yeah.
Putting those as your baseline of what's a good offense is hard because they already had a
baseline.
Or not a baseline, but using that as a parameter to be
the reason I use it as a parameter is because the Dodgers don't have to go through Crochet to get to the World Series. The Yankees probably do. The Yankees not only have to go through him to get to a World Series, they got to face him several times a year. They got to face they got to face this new guy in Toronto. Why am I forgetting his name?
Cease?
No. The kid that they called up this year.
Oh, Savage.
They couldn't hit him. Yesevich, they could not touch him. And you got to play him. It's very different if I was a Detroit Tigers fan or if I was a Dodgers fan or a Mets fan. Yeah, at some point we may have to beat the guy or take the L. But the Yankees have to get through these guys all year. And they don't. They just don't. And our lineup, look, people can argue, but I'm like, dude, I don't look, if you give Boston Bichette or Bregman, right? Contreras, Roman Anthony, just give them their team. Give them their team that they had last year, right? And give them either Bregman or Bichette to fill in that last spot. That offense it works. It works for them. And they hit. And I'm not saying they beat all the elite pitchers they face. They don't, but they fare better than we do. And not only that, but they look better than we do half the time. When we get in front of one of these elite arms, it doesn't look good. It looks very bad. Like we strike out. It's bad. Like, I mean, how many times did we see the Yankees did just last season, the same offense that people talk up as it was one of the best offenses? How many times did they get struck out more than 10 times in a game?
Yeah.
I mean, we saw that a lot. And in the playoffs,
but I'd also look at their rotation. I'd also look at their rotation and say, okay, even if we're going to say not like if we're going to say we're going to give up game one because we can't hit off of Crochet. Okay. But
maybe
I trust
we pair it differently.
I trust R2 over Sonny Gray.
If we pair Schlittler versus Crochet, the Yankees probably could win that game, right? It probably could win that game. But Boston would also argue back that, look, the game that Bello had against you guys is not his normal outing against you guys. He normally,
but that's I mean, over the past like 3 or 4 starts, that is his base.
No, not the game he just had in the playoffs against it. The last time he faced,
we hit pretty well off of him. The last 3 times we played him, if you include the playoff game.
The playoff game we hit well against him. The time before that, he dominated us. The last start.
I'm thinking about the wrong game. I'm thinking about there's a game where like we had at least 4 runs and Jazz was able to have that contact type swing to go the other way. Thought that was all against Bello. So I could be misremembering.
No, in the playoffs.
I'm not the playoffs. I'm thinking about a regular season game in like August or July, where
the last one I'm thinking about was it was a part of that that run, that 12-game run September. But I mean, we play the Red Sox often, so we see him often.
I might be getting my
no. We don't get me wrong.
I have memories of us.
They have their game. They have gotten to him, just like they've gotten to Crochet. They got to Crochet as recently as last year. They got to Crochet one. I mean, we didn't win. We ended up losing the game, but had gotten to him. Like they have times where they get to guys, but I feel like in the playoffs where it's gonna get magnified and you're gonna have to beat some of these guys, or not beat, but be able to withstand some of these guys. They just don't. We went into Toronto and got the doors blown off the first 2 games of the series, and they couldn't hang. Just could not hang. And it's like,
Boston, I'm definitely having that entire lineup go up against splitters the entire offseason.
I mean,
you are going to look at this and you are going to take it or hit it.
I hope some guys are 2 months into a program of just a very splitter heavy diet, but I don't know. I know the guys are working because they all work very hard. That's the one thing I never knock about the players that we have. Even Volpe, and kid struggles, and they all are hard workers. That's really how you get to this level. Yeah, but I feel like maybe because I follow them closely, a little more closely, but I mean, we've got some real hard workers on the Yankees. Like, I mean,
for sure,
guys that really freaking get after it and get to it. And yeah, the results don't show it, but I would rarely be okay with somebody saying, oh, this guy, he doesn't work hard enough. He's got to work.
That also means that we have the right leaders in charge. Judge, Stanton, these are the guys.
Oh yeah, they
got the right people in there to foster that type of mindset. Sure.
Argue again, if you to get back to the Boston thing, if you still have the Yankees ahead of Boston, I mean, look, I'm sure there's a lot of people that feel that way.
And I'm also looking at it fully healthy because this year we're gonna get Rodon back and we're gonna get Cole back. Cole in that rotation.
Yeah.
To add with Schlittler and Fried. And it also helped Fried because I think a lot of things that happened with Fried, especially in the Blue Jay series, is I don't think he was ready for the pressure. He's the ace of this staff.
Well, he was.
But last year he's the guy.
Yeah, he was.
I don't think he was ready for that. And once he went up against an offense that was locked in, that pressure showed.
Yeah.
Cole does not get that pressure.
No.
And that's also how I'm thinking about it in terms of like they're getting Roman Anthony back, but we're also getting Garrett Cole back. It's like, and I don't know. First year off of Tommy John is not always consistent, but I still trust that guy.
I trust Garrett Cole, and I know he's not going to be the Garrett Cole that we know right off the bat, but
won't be a Cy Young Award winner.
But even for that, like you look at Cole, like he's somebody who who's always struggled with Boston. Rodon struggles with Boston. Fried last year was kind of a mixed bag. He had some good outings and some really not so good outings. So I don't know. The jury to me is still out on Fried. Schlittler looks good against Boston. And outside of that one game against Toronto where he couldn't get out of the second inning, I think it was.
Yeah.
Because the second time he faced Toronto, when he faced Toronto in the playoffs last year, he gave us one hell of a shot to win that freaking game. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I think Schlittler he's right off the bat. Let's see. It's year 2. Things can change. But right off the bat, Schlittler looks like a big game pitcher. And Lord knows we need it because we just have that luck that even our best guys, our guys that are like the best of the best, Garrett Cole, and Max Fried, they have their bugaboos with certain teams. Like I'm not, because Garrett Cole's a great pitcher.
But some of those bugaboos with Cole could be kind of limited because he didn't really have bugaboos with Boston as a whole. He had bugaboo with one guy.
Devers.
He had bugaboo with one guy.
And he's gone.
He's on the other side of the country. So,
which I'm very happy about.
There is a chance that Boston now becomes his paradise because he no longer has to deal with that guy. Yeah, and he no longer has the pressure of thinking, I need to focus on that guy.
Yeah. I hear you. It's a very good point. I think I have a running joke going that the reason that Cole is not starting the year immediately is because the Yankees open against San Francisco. But no, he'll be fine. I listen. I'm gonna be happy the moment that I get to see Cole just take them out again. I miss him. He's one of my favorite guys just to watch go out there and work. As a former pitcher myself, I'm insanely obsessed with pitching, and he's one of the guys that I just even when he's not good, I like watching. I like watching him, and I know emotions and stuff like that, where it kind of pisses people off or rubs people the wrong way. But I like it. I see a lot of myself in him. I struggled controlling my emotions too when I was out, so I get it. And
at that level, it's hard to control your emotions on the mound.
Normally, I mean, these guys make it look easy. That's the problem. Yeah. I think that's what it is. Some guys make it look so easy that you start thinking like, why can't everybody just do that? It's like because it's not easy. Because it's not.
It's the major leagues.
If they could, they would. Trust me. If Garrett Cole could, he would. He can't. It's who he is.
Yeah. So as we wrap this up, we're getting close to spring training, but we're also getting close to, in my opinion, the best sports tournament in the world.
Oh yeah.
Fuck the World Cup.
Oh, this is WBC.
World Baseball Classic is the best tournament in the world.
Oh yes.
Who do you think is winning it? A lot of stacked rosters out there. Now the U.S. is starting to load up. Japan's coming off of their win. Dominican Republic always looks like an all-star team. You got some sleeper teams out there. Venezuela looks tough.
There's always one that you don't think. There's always like Mexico or
Mexico always. If Randy Arozarena brings out his big game ability, they're always in it. So who do you think is going to take it home?
Oh man. I hate that I'm going to say this because it's not even. I'm half Dominican, half Puerto Rican, and I'll start by saying I'm very excited to watch the Dominican selection play this year. I think they're going to play with a chip on their shoulder because their last outing was just not representative of who the Dominican Republic is as a country and what they mean to baseball. I think it was a national embarrassment for them last time out, and I believe that they responded and showed that they went and brought the right people into the room, went and got Pujols. They have brought in the right people to serve as advisors. Big Papi's been around the team. Pedro Martinez has been around the team. They've done all the right button. And the team looks, like you said, absolutely star-studded. Tatis, Soto, Julio Rodriguez, A-Ram, Perdomo. It's absolutely positively nuts. Vladdy Jr. How can I forget Vladdy Jr., my best buddy, Vladdy Jr.? I mean, it's stacked. It's amazing. The lineup looks like it's going to be absolutely nuts. The pitching worries me.
It's always the case with the Dominican. They have the best bats.
Was shaky because it's so weird. They're like mercurial. They could be like, the pitching could either be like lights out, you cannot touch them, or they can't get guys out. Yeah. And they're walking everybody or whatever. It's like, so the pitching scares me, but offensively, at least I do know that offensively, I think Dominican Republic will be able to go toe-to-toe with anybody. I am, as of right now, though, unfortunately, I'm still putting the U.S. over DR. And I say unfortunate, but it's not unfortunate. I'm American. I'm born here, so I'm an American citizen. And I wouldn't mind seeing the U.S. win at all. Yeah. I'd still put U.S. above them because the U.S. pitching is important.
It's so much improved from 23.
Pitching is important, and I feel like pitching wins you tournaments like this. Pitching wins you World Series. Pitching wins you the playoffs. Pitching. It matters. Yeah. And does the USA freaking have it this year?
I think if any team has shown that they have a chip on their shoulder, it's the United States.
Oh,
They
forget.
brought their best pitcher last time they went, or at least part of their pitching staff was Adam Wainwright.
Yeah, I remember Uncle Charlie, man. That's
Like
what we ran out
they
there.
had
It worked.
it worked.
Got them
They got to the finals with that team. Cedric Mullins was your center fielder.
Uh-huh.
And they said, not again. We're not letting this happen again. Even though it came down to the final strike.
It did.
Trout versus Ohtani, back when Trout was in his still relatively there.
Amazing.
So
They're gonna
if any team has shown they have that chip on their shoulder based off of last time, it's the United States. But I think, man, because like you said, the Dominican Republic, so good. That team is going to go farther. I was in attendance in the Dominican Puerto Rico game.
Oh, so you
When
experienced
Julio let that ball go to center field.
Yep.
Like you said, that was not representative of what they are. But I don't know. I feel like there's an underdog story coming. I think it's Venezuela. You got Ronald Acuna.
Yeah. And he looks amazing right now.
Like, they've got a roster. Gleyber Torres.
Yeah.
They, I think, can go on a run.
Tuve's going to play, right?
I think Altuve's playing.
Yeah, they got pitching too.
Definitely got pitching. So
they always have a little bit of that. It's not on the level of US, but it's enough. It's enough.
I also think they got scrappy players. And I think that's what I noticed most.
Yeah, they're all
noticed most when I was there was Venezuela knows how to win.
Yeah.
And I think they can go far this time.
It's a dog. Whenever you play Venezuela, it's a dogfight. They make the game a dogfight. They make it ugly. They make it like you don't beat Venezuela unless you want it more than them. You have to want it more than them, or else you're not going to beat them. That's who they are. And they deserve all the credit in the world for that, because they constantly show up and put out a team that is a very valid representation of their country and their country's stature when it comes to baseball. So I have nothing but the utmost respect for Venezuela. I worry a little bit this year about my Puerto Rican selection. I don't think we're as good as we've been in years past, but Puerto Rico is very similar to Venezuela in that regard, that they don't necessarily need the best names out there.
They're always going to fight.
It's just a matter of who they are. It's an attitude that they go out there and they want it more than a lot of people. I just think Puerto Rico has their work cut out for them this year with teams like Venezuela, DR, US. It's going to be tough. But we spoke about DR, PR, USA, Venezuela, all great. I'm not picking any of those four to win. I think Japan's going to repeat.
You think Japan's going to repeat?
I think Japan's going to repeat. And I'm not, TJ, I am not happy saying this to you, because I'm going to be the most unhappy camper when I think it ultimately happens. I'm going to be like, what the heck, bro? There's no freaking way.
Loading up of talent.
The U.S. literally, they went and got Aaron Judge, we got Aaron Judge. He's the captain, not just he's the American captain, as it should be.
Yeah.
And he's there, and everybody's going to play with Judge, and he's coming with a fully loaded army. I mean, the rotation is literally snipers. They literally put American snipers should be the name of our rotation. They are going to just eat teams alive. I mean, I some of those games are going to be funny. Because can you imagine, because some of these teams pull up with like substitute teachers and stuff.
I'm gonna get to that in a second, but yeah,
you gotta go. You're a substitute math teacher. You gotta go and sit there and check out Paul.
Your matchup today is Tarek Skubal.
What? Are you kidding me? What do you do? I mean, you go back and you tell your kid, I faced Tarek Skubal once upon a time. I don't know, but
for sure,
I just feel like all of this story, all the fanfare, it's all been around. Oh, the U.S. man, they're coming back. They loaded up. Oh my God, look at DR. They have too many players. They have a problem. They don't know who's going to play because they have so much stars. Who's going to play third? Is it going to be Machado? Is it going to be J-Ram? Who's going to do it? They just have so much talent. They're so good. Who's playing shortstop? You got Adames. You got Perdomo. You got Ellie De La Cruz. You got so many options. I mean, they're just so and Japan's going to end up walking away. I just feel like
Japan's the sleeping giant.
I just feel like all this talk, all this story, all this whatever, and Japan is just there somewhere right now, very quietly, militantly putting together the team that is somehow, some way going to just end up on top. And it's like, would it really shock anybody? All the names that we've seen from Japan the last couple of years, they're big leaguers now. Murakami, Akamoto, Yamamoto, Sasaki, Ohtani, obviously. I mean, they churn out, and not even just big league, they churn out quality big league. I don't know if Senga's going to go. Senga's a monster. He's an amazing pitcher, and he's not even one of their top two best guys, and he's amazing.
For sure, yeah.
They have a wealth of riches when it comes to talent, and boy, do they know how to play the game a bit. They just play it well. But it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. I can't believe I'm picking. If you ask me, I'm picking Japan to win, but I am picking the same final. I think it's gonna be U.S. and Japan. I would love to say it was gonna be DR versus the U. I want DR versus USA as the final. I'm praying for that every night. I ask.
That
please,
would be theater.
Epic. I mean, could you just the two lineups alone? I mean, the money that they're gonna make. You got everybody. Literally, the only issue is Ohtani won't be there, so they'll be a little bit sad about that. But, Ohtani. But it's like, look at everybody else you got. I think that, dude, it's either gonna be US and Japan, or it's gonna be DR and Japan, and Japan's gonna win. They're gonna win. I think they're gonna win. They're too freaking good. They're really good. Really good.
And to cap off the World Baseball Classic talk, do you see any bottom feeding team going on a run? Talking about the substitute teachers in Czech Republic,
I root for
Great
Czech
Britain
Republic,
team. You got Nicaragua, which has a couple major leaguers, but they still are not great. Israel. Like, do you see any of these teams going on a run?
Israel's always fun, though.
Oh, they're fun.
Israel's always fun, though. They always have a couple of guys, and I feel like my thing is, it might sound bad, but it's not. But I feel like my thing is, I always see somebody there, and I'm like, I had no idea this guy was Jewish. Like, oh my God, good for them. I didn't know.
I did that last time because they're in Miami again. They were in Miami last time, and I saw Danny Valencia pop up. I'm like, wait,
like, huh?
what?
With a last name like that, what are we doing? Like, it's wild. Like, for instance, like some guys I knew. Like, I remember when Dean Kramer first came up with Baltimore.
Yeah.
They did like on Yes Network. Yes Network was actually really good about this. So I want to give them their credit. Because I feel like our broadcast doesn't get as many flowers. You always hear the talk about Gary, Keith, and Ron in Queens, and
everyone hates K for something.
Yeah, people but I think I think you know what it is that people don't watch a lot of baseball. Like Yankees fans that don't watch a lot of baseball outside of the Yankees a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Baseball fans, you're gonna watch other teams, and so you can compare and then you start to see just how good. Like when you're talking when it's K, Cone, and Paul, it's one of the best. That is one of the best.
Yeah, that's
David
a good
Cone
group.
is phenomenal. David Cone might be the best in the business. I love David Cone. Michael K, listen, he might not be your favorite. He might not be. He's damn freaking good, and his contemporaries know it and they say it. He's really good. He's one of the. I'm telling you, when it comes to play-by-play, you can knock him for his takes on the radio. That's fine, but that's a whole different thing. When it comes to play-by-play, he really is one of the best. And one of the things that they do really well that I like is when they do profiles on other teams' players, you get to learn like a lot about them. And I remember they did a great profile on Dean Kramer when he first pitched against the Yankees the first time, and they were talking about it. Oh, he's from Israel, and I was like, oh wow, look at that, check him out. He was like the only guy I was expecting over there, and he barely showed up. Like it was everybody. Everybody else. I was like, what the heck? But here's my bottom feeding team this year. I'm not gonna go. Last time was Czech Republic. Their story got me. This time I'm going with Great Britain because they got so much crap about those jerseys, man.
I want to see what jerseys they come out with this time.
I think they should make the font smaller. I would just go for broke. Matter of fact, I would just take not even Great Britain. I would just put GB. Like I would do something funny.
Just like, go in with gray pennies.
Yeah, straight up gray pennies. Nothing. I don't know. That's gonna be my bottom feeder team that I root for this year. I'm going Great Britain. I've been to London more times than I can count. My favorite city outside of New York is London. So I'm gonna root for the UK. I'm gonna root for the UK this time. And let's see how that goes for me. They'll shock you too every now and then with a guy or two.
This year, I mean, hey, I don't know who they're gonna convince to do it, but they got a couple guys eligible.
They do.
They got Chapman that can.
Yep.
Can go. Jazz can go.
Yeah.
So they could become entertaining if they actually get some of these guys to commit. I just don't know if they're gonna get the guys to. That's the issue. To commit, except for Harry Ford.
What's it called? Korea too.
Korea, yeah.
Korea's always. I feel like Korea gets over. Unfortunately, they are always playing with the likes of like Japan and stuff, so they kind of get like overshadowed a lot. But
for sure,
if there wasn't a Japan, Korea would be really good case. You know what I mean? The problem is they always kind of run into Japan, but they're good. They're good. And I was looking at some of the names this year, and they have some interesting ones. Some that we're not familiar with that are going to be coming to the big leagues in a couple years. So I'm going to be looking really closely. So I want to put that out there, guys. See a game and it's Korea versus somebody, you're like, I'm not watching that. Watch it, because apparently they have a couple of guys, hitters, that are going to be really interesting when their names make it over to the big league.
For sure. The team I'm looking out for right now, newcomer into the tournament, Brazil. Oh. I am just like, who are you bringing?
I have no idea.
Like, I have never heard of a major leaguer that's Brazilian.
Soccer players.
They're just, Neymar's going to pick up a bat and he's just going to be like, athleticism. We could do this.
I don't know, but I feel like Brazil's just so fun. Like they're just so fun that it's gonna be fun, right?
Oh, it's going to be interesting no matter what.
Even if they suck, it's gonna be fun. You know, the jerseys are gonna be loud, colorful, the yellow, the green. It's gonna be fun. You know, it's gonna look good. Their players are gonna have like style. The Brazilian players always have like the nice haircuts and the jewelry and stuff. Like it's gonna be fun. Even if they get dog walked every game, I think it's gonna be fun. I absolutely can't wait to do it. And you know what? If they do get dog walked, good for them because they kick everybody's butt in soccer anyway. So you know what?
They made it to the tournament in a sport that no one knows who plays for them.
Exactly. Which
not every country makes it to the World Baseball Classic. You have to qualify.
I couldn't believe when I read the article that they qualified. It was on MLB.com. I was like, huh? I was like, this is a mistake. I said, oh, what? I said, we're just looking for people to throw in this tournament at this point, which is true. Like, and that's why growing the game of baseball is so important because we need to have a much larger pool for this tournament.
That's why I hope they take out a team like Great Britain, just so they get a win, and some people in Brazil could be like, hey, let's play baseball.
We beat Britain. And listen, that's the beautiful thing about the tournament, right? That's the beautiful thing about the tournament. When you make it a national thing, right? When you make it like my country versus your country, it makes it so much bigger than the game. And that's what's so fun about it. Like when Puerto Rico plays the Dominican Republic, I mean, these people, they want this bad. Okay.
It was awesome in that stadium.
Oh, forget about it because
it was a parade. It was so fun.
No, that is the like it's bigger than the World Series for Dominican and Puerto Rico. It's bigger than that. They don't it's like listen, their team wins the World Series, they celebrate it for a couple weeks, a month, maybe a year, whatever. If you beat DR in the WBC like Puerto Rico did last time, they have not shut up about it. It's been you know what I'm saying, years. They are still talking about, well, last time in WBC, we beat them. And that's what it is. So that's why it means so much. Like Venezuela, the same thing. Venezuela, when they beat DR last time, that's what I'm saying. DR has work to be done because they have to atone for some very big. That's why I need my guys to go out there. And if you get PR, I need you to beat them. Get Venezuela, I need you to beat them because they've been talking crazy for a long time. It's been too long. So you got to get them back because it's big. It's means something. That's the beautiful thing about Japan. Japan beats everybody and they don't talk. They don't say anything.
Well, they're on the other side of the world. They have no.
So maybe they do talk and we just don't hear them.
It's in the morning time when we're asleep. So
we're sleeping when they're talking, so it doesn't get to. You might be right, TJ. You might be onto something there. But
yeah, man, this has been fun.
It's gonna be loud.
It's gonna be fun.
But yeah, no, it's gonna be fun. I can't wait. We're going down. I don't think I'm at liberty to announce the actual dates yet. I don't want Pete to kill me, but we are going down to WBC this year. That much has been said. So NYYU will be there on the coverage. Hopefully, we coincide. We can link up when we're out there. But I'm really excited.
Are you going to Miami?
Yes.
Perfect. Yeah.
Gotta be my first.
I'll be down there for the whole group stage. So whatever dates you're there.
Also, so then we'll coincide. I'll hit you up when we're down there.
Perfect.
It's gonna be my first time. I've never gone before.
Last time was my first time, and it was fucking awesome.
How many games did you do?
Last time I did. I only did the Friday to Sunday. This time I'm going for the week.
Oh, so you're gonna be the whole week. Yeah. Okay, good for you. Yeah. All right, man. That's good.
So yeah, I mean, this has been fun, man. I appreciate
you
coming on.
Of course.
Everyone, if you don't know, even though you probably do, give them your
follow. So first, as always, gotta shout out the flagship, man, NYY Underground on YouTube. That's where I do the bulk of my content with my brother Pete Simonetti. NYYU, man, is the place to be for Yankee news, rumors, coverage, all that, alternate broadcast, best in the business. You can follow me on Instagram at donfrancis.cito. And on Twitter, it's at Francis Lee, Francis FRANCES Lee LII. And yeah, TJ, thank you, man. Thank you. This is fun. This has been the longest one. It's been the best one. So I can't wait. I definitely want to do this again sometime. I love it.
Maybe while we're down in Miami, we could get one live.
Would be nice. All right. I'll
have
all my stuff with me. I'm traveling heavy.
For sure. I'll have my stuff with me. So
yeah, we'll be working down. We're going down into work, but I'm trying to have a little fun while I'm down there too. It's Miami.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Until next time, I'm out of here. Take care and peace.